What's good, y'all? Like y'all seen before, I've been playing a lot of Elden Ring Nightreign, and this game has been so fucking fun. Like, I never expected I was gonna have this much fun playing the game. I've been having so much fun that I decided to beat every single boss with every single character. Now, I don't stream, so I'm not about to show you every single run through with every single boss and all that shit. But what I will do is go through each one of the characters, talk about them. I got a couple lists. Let me pull up the list of what I'm gonna talk about for each character. We got playstyle, we got the different weapons that's available, we got the abilities, we got team comp that they work best in, and overall, how much fun did I have with them. So, first character we're gonna get into, Duchess, baby girl D. Lil D, but she big D, walking around Limgrave or whatever the world is called. So, first thoughts, I didn't really care for Duchess at first, but I like the bigger characters. I like the big heavy hammers. So she was definitely a antithesis to what I usually play as. But your boy wanted to get into more of the lightweight, light weapons, quick, fast, in and out type characters. So Duchess was the perfect one. So I decided to start with her. So getting into the playstyle, first off, Duchess, like I said, she uses daggers. I like to dual wield, so I usually got two daggers, so she got to be up close and personal. It ain't no range, ain't no nothing, unless you get like a good Ash of War or something. But most of the time, she up close and personal in their face. Da 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 da. Slice, slice, slice. She close to the slicer. It's like Sunraku in Shangri-La Frontier. If you hip, if you not, go check it out. It's nice. If you like video games and ain't gotten the anime, that's an anime video game. Shout out to my dogs. They barking. Somebody walking, probably minding their own business down the street. But like I said, double dagger build. But what I like about like her double daggers are kind of her weakness because you got to be up close and personal. She don't stagger that often, and she don't got that much, resistance or like shields or stuff like that, whatever you want to call it, armor. So me being the button mashing dude I am, I usually always get caught mid combo because I'm just trying to get in, get my damage, and then eventually hit the reverse, and then get out. But like I said, she don't stagger because she not hitting nobody with no heavy weapon. So if you're getting a heavy character like a Crucible Knight or like a boss, if you don't get out of there, if you don't stop your chain combo, then you getting hit and you might go down depending on who it is. So that would say the only bad thing about that. I like the poise break. She is not a poise breaking character, so you just gotta, take the good with the bad, and that's part of the bad. But the good is if you got an affinity. So if you got poison, you got rot, you got bleed or anything like that, because she hitting you so much, it's gonna proc really quickly. That's one of the best things about her. So definitely, if you're gonna get a dagger, make sure it got an affinity on it because it's basically gonna hit immediately. Now we gonna get into the weapons. I'm gonna pull up a list of like the good, like legendary daggers and stuff like that that I generally use. I don't know the name of them, but off the top of the head, you got the Black Knife Assassin Blades, you got the Reduvia, you got Erd Tree Dagger was one of the ones I got all the time. But like I know the Black Knife Assassin and then the Reduvia and then it started with a C. It's what the Malekith used to use when he in his beast, not the beast form, but the dude with the cloak. Those are like three major like legendary ones. But then like I said, you ended up dual handed and stuff like that. So honestly, when it comes to daggers, she don't got too many options for like legendary daggers. But most of the weapons that you will end up using, if that's the playstyle you want to go with, you get daggers. You also got thrusting swords, so you got like the blood EP or whatever like that, or just some you. I don't use them too often. I don't like like I said, I like the daggers mostly. But you do got the thrusting swords. And what I didn't use going through all the things, like I said, she does have a lot of intelligence. And I think I failed her by not using staffs. Because of that high intelligence and some of the staffs with the different spells that got on them, I feel like I missed out on so much damage by not using those. So if I do go back and play with her more, I might offhand a staff plus a dagger in the other hand. So we slicing, hit him with the spell. Slice, hit him with the spell. That's maybe something I need to do. But like I said, not too many high profile legendary daggers, but there's plenty of daggers to use, plenty of stuff to, make it work. And those are mainly the weapons that I use for her. Now, getting into the abilities. Reverse. Reverse, reverse. If you got the right team comp, that shit does crazy amounts of damage. Her herself doesn't do big bulk damage, but if you got I think Recluse is the mage build. If you got a Wylder, or if you got a what's his name? Raider. I had to Google it. I had to look it up. So yeah, if you got one of them characters that do a bunch of damage really quick, especially when they hit the repost after you break a stance, that is amazing. And you get a combo with a ult too, so you reverse a lot of damage. That is really good, especially if you get a relic that if you do a dagger combo, which go by really fast, it'll automatically proc the reverse, reverse. And then you can also hit it with your regular ability. So you could hit a double reverse on an enemy and do crazy amounts of damage. Especially, like I said, certain spells do so much damage at one time. You got the different Raider and the Wylder Ultimate that do a bunch of damage. Like, it's so good if you got the right team comp. But if you got, whoever the summoner is, her name, I don't play with her that often, so I don't remember her name. If you got Ironeye, like the bird dude, is a lot of these people, they don't do a lot of damage at one time. Like, it's merely like gradual damage. So it's like that, it don't really get the best use out of it, but it can still happen every time people do bulk damage. So that's the best thing I like about the reverse. But again, you have to do damage for it to really work. So if you just in your own by yourself and you're not doing too much by yourself, like, it's really not as useful as it could be versus other people's characters. And then when you got her ultimate ability, I call it the Invisicloak. I don't know the actual name. I'll put it on the screen right here. But Invisicloak, that is a support ult. You're not going to do damage, which I don't love not being able to do real damage with a certain ult. But it is a support ult. It's really good for picking up people, especially once you get to that 2-3 section that you got to get through. And it's really good for that. I think a downside is some enemies just flat out don't give a damn if you're invisible or not. If you get too close, you end up swinging too many times. You end up accidentally hitting them trying to pick your boy up. Your invisibility don't matter. It don't. Or like I said, I've had times where I went invisible, dude still slow walking towards me, running me down, sensing me, got my chi in his head. He got the eyes of Agamotto. I don't know. He got something to where he could see me even though I'm invisible. So like I just said, you cannot attack no enemies. You just gotta. It's a utility. It is a good ult if you need a little break. If the team getting their ass beat by a boss, you just gotta throw that cloak up and then just everybody take a breath. Everybody get their bearings, get their flasks and everything like that. You see the boss just start spamming attacks in any direction. But it's a support ult, so don't expect a lot of damage with it. Now, after playing so many games, a team comp that she works best at, because she is like I said, it's her ability. She can do a lot of damage if you got bleed and like affinities and stuff like that, but she works really well with those big damage characters. Raider, Wylder, Recluse. Those characters that do bursts of damage is exactly what she is used for. You will melt bosses and the boss's health would just dwindle away. Like, you see a boss damage, you see a bunch of yellow on their health bar, hit a reverse, and then that same health bar go away. I love it. Big boy. And having a tank on your team or somebody to keep the aggro will also save you, because you do got to get in close. But if they're not looking at you, you can just slice all that damage in and then get out of there before they start hitting you. So, and her on a team is really good. Like I mentioned before, she has really good utility to pick people up because she swings so fast and it takes very little stamina. She's really good at picking people up, get in, get out, disappear herself, slice, even if you got 2 or 3 little health bars that you got to dwindle down. So I would say playing with the good team comp, I really like her. You need somebody, a frontline character though. If you have that, you have amazing time, you have amazing fun, you'll be able to, best support on the game. And she run like a little Power Ranger, and I know I had it in the other video, she do the shout out Duchess. Now, getting into the next character. I probably would put him equal to Duchess just because he's so versatile. He's got so many things to work with. He just all around fun character, and he's made to be the all around character. Everybody clap it up for my boy Wylder. Getting into the playstyle. So Wylder, 100% the most versatile character of the entire of the whole roster. He literally, that is his dude. He's made to be that middle character. He's not quite a tank, but he's not quite a backline support. He is gonna be up there with the tanks, but he can come back. He got mobility, like he got everything you need for, and he got a little bit of everything. That's what he there for. So, like I said, most versatile. One of my favorite sounds in this game. Bro is amazing at breaking stances. Only second to Raider. Dude, because he mainly with the great swords. We'll get into the weapons next, but he breaks stances really easily. He got the best mobility, honestly. I mean, who better other than Ironeye with you can kind of curve your little your markability and like get around, get to a different angle. But that little slingshot he got, that little grappling hook, that shit traverse. If you stuck in a storm, like you really just, you move, you groove, you dash in and out, especially with so many bosses and enemies that just run away from you and duck the smoke. He's really good at doing that. And then, like I said, he is a frontline, big bonk type of dude, put a lot of damage on people, really good with Duchess, like I said, because he got so many different things he can do. Now, getting into the weapons, like I said, I'm going to keep saying it this entire explanation. Bro got weapons. I didn't know how many good ass great swords were in the game until I started playing with him. Like this shit, bro, it's kind of unfair how many weapons he got access to, because one, there's so many different types of great swords. You got Death's Poker, you got, I don't even know. I might have to come back and do it. You got all different types of swords he can get to. He got heavy thrusting swords he can use. He can even get the colossal weapons, which is a whole nother class with a whole nother set of legendaries. I don't like using the colossals because I'm gonna say that when I do Raider, but he can use them. And me, your boy, if I'm playing Wylder, I'm breaking stances, so I'm usually double handed. I'm double fisting them great swords. Oh yeah, great swords. He got great curved swords. So you got Margit's weapon. You got hammers. You got all types of things that he can use. Like, it's really just endless on that weapons he can get. And there's so many good ass legendary great swords, great curved swords, great hammers, colossal weapons, all that shit. Like, it's really it's truly unfair what he has access to. He also do shields, but who the fuck blocks? Why are you blocking in this game? Why are you receiving damage and not dishing damage out? Get your life together if you block it. Going into the abilities, like I said, he got the grappling hook. It's really good for mobility around the map. I don't really care to use it in fights outside of going to bosses that are running from you. Because there is an epidemic in this game of bosses that just run away and just move so much. Like, certain bosses aren't even hard to fight. You just have to catch up to them. Like, they're not hard. They just run. So most of the fight is just running to them to do the damage, and then they run away. So that's another, 2-3 minutes at a time that you're just running to go get them. So he kind of cuts that little time down a lot. And if you get the right relic, you can do one of them little, that shit look tough though. You pull yourself towards them, you hit a spinny, put the fire on the weapon and slice them. That shit go crazy, not gonna lie. Plus it just automatically gives you a fire affinity onto it. So that's very nice. And there is one thing I will say. I wish they added an indication to where when you're about to hit your grappling hook, if you're going to pull the enemy towards you or you're going to be pulled towards the enemy. Because I don't know if there is or not, but it don't seem like it. But I think that'd be very useful, because obviously you can't do that with bosses. But like randomly in the world, you don't know if you're going to pull that enemy towards you or you're going to get pulled towards it. And that's a very important distinction, especially like if you fighting a group of people or something like that. Getting into his ultimate, that shit is gas. When I tell you he got the best ultimate in the game, the best sounding, the best impact, the best everything, bro. You load that bitch up It's basically like a Kamehameha. If you load it up, you put it towards the side, and then you just blow up in a dude's face. All Diddy. And if you got the relic that makes it fire, it just puts the fire just to get a little extra damage. So if you got, again, I'm going to keep bringing Duchess. If you got a little Duchess, it will reverse even more damage. It's nice. And again, like I told you, that break stance sound is my favorite sound in the game. And this is essentially, if you time it right, a 100% chance to break the stances. Unless you're dealing with Bell-Bearing Hunter. Fuck him. He gives me PTSD. So, best overall kit by far. 100%. Team comp, versatile. Word of the day. He on every team comp. It don't matter if you got 2 remnants and a Wylder. If you got 3 Wylders, if you got a Raider, Wylder, Raider, if you got a 2 Duchess and a Wylder, like anything, don't ever have 2 Duchess on the team. But any team he works well on. He can be front line, mid line, back line, whatever you got to do. He can be with everybody. And again, with that grappling hook, he cuts a lot of that travel time to bosses that run away down. So that's very nice for him. So shout out Wylder. Like I said, I will put him and Duchess even on the team, even on my fun level. They are both fun as hell to play. A lot of weapons to get access to. Wylder, they just gave him so much love in this game, and I love it so much. He seems very balanced. He's not OP, but he's fun as hell. So many different options to play with him. Now, getting into my first character that I started maining when I got this game, Ironeye. Ironeye, I think, is a really good character that they added because you don't really play with a lot of bows when it comes to like these Souls-like games. I'm saying that as a nigga that only played Elden Ring. So, in Elden Ring, bows fucking useless. There's no reason for you to pick up a bow. There's too many good weapons. There's too many. If you want to play range, like the bows are not good enough to play range unless you're picking off like random enemies in the game. But here, oh, Ironeye the GOAT. His playstyle, obviously he's a bow guy. Stay back. You do got to run up if you want to use his ability, but we'll get into that later. But playstyle, you stay back, you shoot arrows. Plain and simple. It ain't no really, like, you can use a melee weapon, but there's really no reason to. So he's definitely a backline support. He's really good if you want to get the aggro away from your team and then just kind of back up and get out the way and let them recuperate or get some good, easy pick shots while the boss is walking towards you. But let's say, overall, you just shoot back, shoot the bow. If you got rain of arrows, that's a really good Ash of War when it comes to bosses that don't move that much. Or I've been using Sky Shot. It don't hit often, especially, like I said, a lot of these bosses move around. So a lot of the Ash of Wars don't really work well when it comes to the bows. Unless you got like the multi-shot where you just sit in one place and just fire that hole. Just put the switch on the bow and just... Other than that, in Rain of Arrows, all the other Ash of Wars really don't do that much. They're not really useful compared to just pressing R2. It does make the gameplay very boring because you literally are rarely in harm's way, and then you just click the right bumper. Just over and over, click right bumper. You don't use that much stamina either, so you may have to take a break every 10 seconds, but you just hit the right bumper. Kind of boring, but he's really good if you put that mark and you got, I'll go into the team comp. But yeah, really good. Kind of a boring character to use in my opinion. But if you get the right affinities, he's kind of like Duchess. He puts affinities on really well. So getting into the weapons, again, like I said, bows kind of suck in Elden Ring. So there isn't that many good bows. Like there are good bows, but there's not really legendary bows. Other than, I know the Erd Tree bow that has a little holy onto it. They got the Serpent bow, which puts a little poison on it. I don't think they got rot bows unless you get like a passive that puts rot on the bow. But there's really not that many. And then great bows, but that's even worse. Like it takes you 20 minutes to pull that bitch back and let it loose. Like it's really, great bows are kind of useless. They do a lot of damage, but again, you're a sitting duck while you pulling that bitch back. So definitely lacking on the bows. I've never used a melee weapon with him other than like I use a Sword of Milos just to like debuff the boss. But other than that, I don't use melee weapons. So you're obviously going to use a bow. So get something with a good passive, get something with a good affinity, and that's really all you can do with him. Like his weapons aren't very versatile. There's like ballistas and stuff like that, but again, everything other than a regular bow shoots so slow, it's not even worth it. I have not used crossbows though, because I don't know. I don't use crossbows. So bows kind of lacking in that department. Wish they would add some more. Maybe some. I guess you can't really put different affinities, but yes, that very lacking on the bows. So when it comes to the abilities though, I'm gonna say it once, I'm gonna say it again, and when I get to Raider, I'm gonna say it even more. The sound of the stance break in this game satisfies me so much. When I tell you I can cut glass with my nipples, it makes them so hard when I stance break in enemies. I promise you, bro, I love it so much. I live for it. He's not breaking stances unless it's a small enemy. But you put that mark, you got a Wylder or a Raider on the other team, they are kneeling before you. I promise you. I love that ability. You have to make sure you do have to run in, and you have to run in, put it on the boss, and get back out of there. Usually they don't get aggro if you just put the mark on, but it is a very, very good ability if you combo it with the right team comp. Plus, I think it makes them a little weakened. I had to double check that, but it also is a great way to get out of the way. So you are invulnerable while you are putting the mark. So if an enemy is running at you, you run out of stamina, and you got no other options, put the mark on, and you can aim where you end up. So if you just want to get around the boss or like get to a certain area, like out of harm's way, you hit it and then direct your thumbstick to where you want to go. It's very good, especially enemies with shields. It's very good to get around them. Very good to just get a little piece of it. You don't even got to hit them like in the middle or like where your marker, your lock-on marker is on the enemy. You just got to hit a little piece of it. Fighting a dragon, get a tip of his wing, put it on him. You fighting literally anybody, all you need is a little piece to put the mark on them. Or if you fighting a group of enemies, you put it on a whole entire group. Goated. And then whoever come in with the big hammer or anything, you can even break stances if you play it right, if you get the right timing. So make sure that is your duty as playing Ironeye, is to put that mark on. If that mark is not there by the time it comes off, you definitely got the skill back. So put it back on. I hate seeing Ironeyes on my team and not seeing a mark on the enemy. Do your job. Going into the ultimate cool. It's nice, especially for a group of enemies, especially for if you know you close to a stance break, it's really good for that. And I got a relic that puts poison on it, so it just automatically adds poison to the weapon. So I mean to the ultimate, which is very nice. Poison is very good. You know, just doing a little health down. Can't go wrong with that. So it's not, I said it's kind of on the level of Wylder. It does a big bulk damage, not as much as Wylder for sure, and it doesn't, like I said, unless you have a relic to put the fire on, it doesn't really do, or put the poison on, it doesn't do affinity on its own, but it's very good, like I said, if you're in a crowd of people and you shoot through it, it's very good at picking people up, because it does at least one, I don't know if it always does two. I think in the right circumstances, it could do two little ticks, but usually it'll always do one. And like if both your people are down, you can pick them both up at the same time. So that's very nice. So with that being said, getting into the team comp, he needs a frontline player. He needs a Wylder. He needs a Raider. At least one of those on the field. Or you go triple Ironeye, or you go any mix of Ironeye with Remnant, the mage. So if you got, because you put the mark on, I think a lot of the spells that the Remnant can do can break stances. And like I said, Raider, Wylder, if you want to put an enemy down, put a mark on them, let Wylder and Raider do what they got to do. Really nice to do. Team comp. But again, he stands back. So if you got people who can move out the way, he's really good at just taking the aggro, having them walk towards you, and have other people get free shots on him. Very good. Stay back, especially if you get some of those weapon abilities that decrease the weapon drop off and increase range attach. You can be down to like on a perch somewhere shooting arrows, doing hella damage, while your team shoot them and the boss is just walking at you looking like a goofy goober. So I love Ironeye. Like I said, he was one of the first ones I did the Remembers quest and all that stuff on. He does make the game too easy, so I only really pull him out at this point if I get my ass beat by the boss too many times. So if I really want to cheese some stuff, like it feels very cheesy when I play him. Like I'll put him on the same level as using a mimic tier inside of Elden Ring. Like he's just too easy to use when playing this game. But I love him to death. Definitely one of my favorites. Was my first favorite for sure. So that's Ironeye. Now look, obviously I didn't do all the characters. I want to take my time and give y'all a full rundown on my thoughts and my experience with each one of these characters. So I'm doing 3 now. And I just want to say, first off, if you're still here, I appreciate you for enjoying the video. As you can see, the channel's still starting out. I'm still trying to figure out the kind of videos I want to do. And these type of videos are definitely what I want to start focusing on. But for me to do that, I'm going to need y'all help. I need y'all to like this video. If y'all really enjoyed it, I need y'all to share it to y'all friends. I need y'all to comment and tell me know y'all thoughts. Tell me know which characters y'all like the best. And if I get, I got about 540 subscribers, I think, at the moment of making this video. Give me the 10 likes. 10 likes, and I'm going to do the next 3 characters. All right? Show me how much y'all love it. I love making these videos. I hope y'all enjoy them as much as I do. So give me the 10 likes, and then I'm going to drop the next video for y'all. So thank you so much for making it this far. Make sure you sub to the channel. Make sure you stay tuned for some more. Deuces.